from Kenneth. I was born into a Catholic family, but God saved me out of it. I know I need to be involved in a local church, but my parents forbid it. Would it be wise to go against my parents' wishes and attempt to be part of a local church by myself? Can you imagine being that young man? Grew up in a work-righteous system. Here's the gospel of grace alone, faith alone, in Jesus Christ alone. Realizes, I want to be with people who are like-minded, believing in those 5 solas, rejoicing that Jesus forgives all sins, past, present, future, and that there are no works of mine that can atone for my sins because Jesus paid it all. But mom and dad say, no. Whew, suddenly this is a conundrum indeed. Perhaps you're thinking, wait, Acts 2 and 4, it informs us that when the government, when the religious leaders told Peter and John, don't preach the gospel, they said, sorry, we've got to obey God and not you. That is clearly biblical, and it does give us permission to not do what we're told by the government because they're telling us to sin. Now we've got a different context and a different realm of authority. Parent and child, where it gets a whole lot dicier. If I were forced to say what you really should be doing, well, God does command us to not forsake the assembling of the saints. Having said that, I would also suggest God also understands when there are circumstances that might cause us to not be doing that as regularly as we would like. Just to make sure you're not getting annoyed at that statement, consider the pregnant woman. She's driving to church, her water breaks, she misses church. Would anybody say she's sinning? No, clearly not. There can be circumstances that might prevent a believer from being in the body as often as they would like, but that should not persist. Every effort should be made to get out of any sort of pattern so that you're not guilty of forsaking the assembling of the saints. Having said all that, what would you say to this young man? I would encourage him to find a good local church, a Bible-based church in your neighborhood. Call up the pastor, introduce yourself, explain your circumstances, and ask him if he would please meet you to counsel you and help you through this. Why do I make that suggestion? Because the local shepherd can get the details, find out what's going on, maybe even get involved and represent the son to the parents in a loving meeting that goes about the business of moving this kid into a Bible-based church. So, young man, I applaud you. So glad God has saved you. I am so glad you want to be in a local church, but to help you and guide you through that, please find one, contact the pastor, and let him disciple you. It will most likely go better. Oh, don't worry. Your cake is going to be ready for your baby shower. Just putting the finishing touches on it now. Perfect. Yes, ma'am. You can pick it up at noon. It's just...